All right, well, we're getting close to the end of this bus. If you remember it's been here for quite a while. We typically book our appointments like 4 to 6 months out. This one only had an appointment booked for just an inspection, but we found so much wrong with the inspection that we just couldn't let it leave. So many major defects. So I'll recap a couple of things that we found on it here, and then we're going to get into finishing it up, or so we thought finishing it up. Okay, just kind of recapping this. I had this really bad spindle, if you don't remember. Somebody like welded it and ground it down themselves, and then we spent hours trying to remove that spindle. There's one bolt that holds it in on the backside. We had the bolt removed. We tried heat. We tried everything. We had to actually make a puller. Our buddy Jeff helped us make this puller. We got a puller on there, and then we were able to actually pull that little spindle stub out. It was a lot of work. That's a whole video, I think, on just removing that spindle. It was so bad. And we finally got it out. We were like, it was a total celebration. Of course, that was only half the battle, because then we had to get a new one back in the hole, which that's a whole nother experience on its own. So we ordered the new spindle in. It's an OEM part from Prevost itself. And again, you can see the threaded hole that's over on the end of it there, that bolt that holds it in once it's in place. So once it's all the way in, it's a press fit, and then it held in by a bolt as well. And then to get the new one in, we had it soaking in liquid nitrogen. So it was boiling in the liquid nitrogen there, getting it super cold so it would shrink. And then we heated up the hole that it was going to go into with the oxyacetylene torch. So freeze one thing, heat the other, and put it in as quickly as you can, and hope that it fits right in, no problem. And it actually did. When we took it and pushed it right in, that thing just slid in like butter. The heat checking cracks inside the brake drums were pretty severe, so we replaced the brake drums, put new brake linings and everything on, so that was a lot of work as well. Like I said, lots of safety defects on this one. It had stripped out wheel studs that were stripped out real bad. We don't want the wheels falling off. It had a leaky pinion seal that was so bad that there was only about 2 quarts, less than 2 quarts of fluid in the rear end that holds 5 gallons. The customer had complained that the rear end was making a lot of noise. Well, there was no fluid in it. It had some of the worst wheel bearings you're ever going to see on them. I mean, this is just atrocious that this thing was going 70 miles an hour on the way here with these kind of defects in it. This wheel bearing is just, look how the rollers are breaking apart on it. So bad. You'll probably never see a worse wheel bearing still actually spinning. This video is sponsored by Reolink. Reolink has great security solutions like this Argus 4 Pro video camera that we have. This security camera has a 180-degree field of view, has a solar panel to keep it charged. Installation was super easy. All it required is one screwdriver to put it up. Outside, the panoramic view that it gives is very impressive. 180 degrees is a very wide angle of view. And the low light capability of this camera is absolutely amazing. If you look at this picture here, you can see the 180 degrees of view. It's like pitch black outside when this was taken. This is the same time taken with my iPhone, so it's a half hour after sunset. Look at that. You can't even see me standing. It's just crazy how much brighter it looks. So there's the same security camera. That's me over there on the right by the truck, actually shooting that really dark iPhone video. That's how the low light capability of this camera is. Reolink is having a Black Friday sale where you can save on your security solutions at the best price of the year. Check out our link in the description. You can get up to 43% off. Reolink has a lot of solutions for your home security needs. They also offer items like a video doorbell. They have different styles of cameras for your needs, indoor, outdoor. They also offer their home security hub. Check out the link that we provide in the description to the Reolink site. Again, check out this super low light capability. This is 45 minutes after sunset. Live video feed from the camera. You can see me kind of wave at the camera here. This is actual video. Great detail and clarity, and it's pitch black outside, and it just turns out so good. Okay, so now we're going to get to some of these other issues like loose belts and stuff like that. Do you need me to come in from the other side?
I think I got it.
That should be all you need, yeah.
need to grease that fitting.
Now that we got the top belt tight, you can see that the bottom one to that alternator on the bottom there is very loose too.
Got that bolt in there, and then grease the fitting. We're gonna wipe as much of this grease off of here. This part doesn't spin here, but this part does. It's gonna fling grease everywhere. But I wanted to make sure got enough in there. Most part is the seal surfaces like new versus kind of wear it on there.
So we replaced the wiping surface. That's where the seal rides, so the wheel seal won't leak. We put a new wiper on there.
Jack on the brakes hard. Good. What?
So notice the floor here while this is pulling out. This will be for you to pay attention to later, I guess, that there's no big puddle of transmission fluid on the floor here. There's a little bit of oil dry that was way back near the bumper on it. That was something that we had spilled. But when we pull it out later, you're going to see there's an issue we're going to find.
Turn your wheel all the way to the left. I'll let you drive it down the hill. Okay, we're gonna need to fix that. We have no coolant gauge. Air pressure is working. Oil pressure's a little low, but it's warmed up at idle right now. When I climb the hill, we'll see how it goes up. Turbo boost, I'm not sure if that's working. We'll find out. I'll try to record the gauges as I climb the hill. Pyrometers aren't working.
So if you remember when this first got here too, it barely wouldn't climb the hill. The first time we tried it, it failed, and then we had to get more of a running start, and then it barely made it to the top. We had plugged fuel filters on it. We replaced the fuel filters, so we're going to see how it climbs the hill now. This right here was from when it first got here. This was the second hill climb attempt, and it failed the first one. We got more of a running head start, and you can watch it climb the hill here, and it really starts bogging down and goes really, really, really slow by the time it gets to the top. So it barely made it. And this was when it first got here, before we took care of the fuel filter issue. And this is the new with the new fuel filters on it. Okay, we had to move it outside for a couple weeks while we were waiting for some parts and things and time to get to it. So we got some more safety things to take care of, like the front airbags are really, really bad on it. You'll see them here in a second. They're very, very sketchy. So we're replacing the front airbags, and the front shocks are blown out as well. So we're going to replace the front shocks. I am really glad. Really, really glad we got these airbags off this bus. That's terrible. That's like 40,000 pounds. Yeah, these shocks are shot. Trans fluid. So now we have a trans fluid leak that we did not have before. I think it's just the cold weather, temperature changes. It was in hot weather, now it's colder weather. It had some cold nights. We backed it out, put it on the pit, and it was just the oil pan was leaking. So we tightened up, snugged up all the bolts on the oil pan, and then that took care of the leak. It sat there for 2 days, and there was no more leak underneath of it. And we ran it as well, and no leak. Left we're still working on is that engine temperature gauge. We need to make sure that's working. That's critical.
See him loading up his tools, check the air and all those duels. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Well, he's got a long, hard ride in old Lenny the Silver Sides. Get that bus grease monkey on the road. Well, he's got that hammer down and that 47 Hound. It's that bus grease monkey on the road. He travels all around and he's coming to your town. Get that bus grease monkey down the road. With the propped up engine door, watch that bus grease monkey do his thing. 30 years behind that barn, 'cause it don't run worth a darn. Watch that bus grease monkey make it sing. He knows them Detroits, there's no doubt, upside down and inside out. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in that old blue silver sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Now he's moved his family to the hills of Tennessee. Watch that bus grease monkey make his home, bringing buses back to life with the help of his dear wife. Watch that bus grease monkey get it done. Well, he travels town to town working on them old greyhounds. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in old Lenny the Silver Sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know?